One question I kind of want to ask you, because we're over the whole Trump thing, and there's so much to ask, but the fundamental question I want to ask you as a Republican, as a strategist, as a former chairwoman of the Nevada Republican Party, do you think he did it?
I do think that he did it, and I think that the jurors were thoughtful on their actual final outcome. They did ask several questions of the judge. They also had him repeat his orders, so that way they had complete understanding of what their job entailed. And unfortunately, in the end, they did find him guilty. Now, it can be both things. You're going to hear that this was all politically motivated. It could very well have been politically motivated as well as he was guilty. And that's what I actually believe
Well,
happened
that's an interesting point, because
overall.
we've established you think he's guilty, and that's fair enough. That's your opinion. What? Tell me about the political motivations, because a lot of people I've spoken to over the course of this trial, over the course of this selection and election and so on the campaigning, say that actually he hasn't been treated fairly because there have been other trials and legal action and indictments and various things in regard to other political figures that have not happened in the same way, and the same
Sure.
severity, for example, bail, has not happened. Tell me your impression of that.
Sure. Well, he's underneath a extreme political microscope, and so the conspiracy thought is that if he were not running for president, that this would have just gone by the wayside, and he would have just continued living on with his life. The other situation is you had District Attorney Bragg, who, when he campaigned for that position, made it very clear that one of his top priorities, or his actual top priority, was to take Donald Trump down. And so that actually started this whole scenario off on a really bad footing, which is unfortunate because even though he was found guilty, now you have all of these what ifs
Mm.
and a lot of questions as to why did we even put him in this position in the first place, even though he was found guilty.
What effect do you think it has on the race now? Because we've seen his website crashing, people giving lots and lots of donations. You can't do that, by the way, if you're watching or listening in the UK, because you have to be an American voter to do so, even if you wanted to. But from that perspective, this is, and so throughout this, all the different indictments, over 90 of them for various different legal actions at various times, all of them have made Donald Trump more popular.
Sure. Well, with every indictment, he's grown with more popularity, which has actually been pretty perplexing. I think everyone on the other side thought that with each indictment it would be the end, and he would quietly bow out, but he's done the complete opposite. And so, leading into this verdict, you already had people that were pro Biden and pro Trump. They were both very heavily leaning already in their direction. But I think this solidified even more so the direction of both sides. Now, here in the state of Nevada, if you look at the party registration, the largest and fastest growing is third party. Second place is Democrat. Third place is Republican. And so that tells me that you have a large amount of the voting population that is very disappointed with either option. And so what both of these candidates are going to have to do, despite this verdict, is really campaign hard and focus on these third party voters
Mm.
and make sure that their message is strong, it's clear, it's concise, and that the public understands exactly what these two gentlemen have laid out for the future.
Well, speaking about that, I mean, people want to hear about policy, but is this actually about policy? Because with Trump, in so many ways, I mean, he's talked a lot about what he would do with the country in a second term and all the rest of it, but so
Mhm.
much of it is to do with him personally, and that's inevitable when you have a presidential system, that you have an opinion on the person, not just the party and their different
Mhm.
policies and so on. But I wonder if it's a referendum on him as a person, this election.
I think there will be a large portion of the voting bloc that will find that, and will make sure that they go out and vote because of that. No matter what the policies are, I feel that Donald Trump has done an excellent job at playing the martyr, playing the victim, going ahead and making sure that his supporters also feel that they have, been part of this broken system, this unfair justice system that he claims that we have. And so, he's instilled fear into his base, saying that if they can come after me, they can come after you. And so people are pretty hell bent on making sure that they're going to show up on election day to support him, no matter what. So that's why I think it's going to be interesting to watch, because your caller prior to the break, who actually is a Nevada resident, believes that there's going to be a number of maybe undecideds that go towards Trump. And I actually disagree. I think here in Nevada, where we're a purple state, I think it's still going to be close. If Trump does win our state, it's going to be by, I'm talking like maybe 1 percentage point.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
Because he's lost our state not once, but twice.
I just want to play a clip actually of President Trump reacting to the verdict outside the court. Let's see what he had to say about this.
This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. And they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here. You have a Soros-backed DA, and the whole thing. We didn't do a thing wrong. I'm a very innocent man, and it's okay. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. Our whole country is being rigged right now. This was done by the Biden administration in order to wound or hurt an opponent, a political opponent.
What do you make of that, Amy? He's not just innocent, he's very innocent, he says.
Right. Well, he can say whatever he wants all day, every day. In the end, this was up to 12 jurors, 7 men, 5 women. And this had nothing to do with the Biden administration, as he claims. But, we're now dealing with somebody who is a convicted felon. He's going to have his sentencing 4 days prior to the Republican convention, where he's supposed to solidify the nomination. And I think, we also have to look forward to the debate, which is going to happen at the end of June. So that's going to, I think, possibly tip the scale for those who might be on the fence when they watch the debate between the two men. But I think for the most part, you probably have the majority of the nation already decided.
Yes.
And there's no law saying that Donald Trump cannot continue to run as a convicted felon. There are only three areas that you need to actually fulfill in our Constitution, and that's to be 35 years old, to be a natural born citizen, and to be a resident of 14 years. That's all.
He's got all that. Amy, our Tarkanian, thank you so much for your analysis there. She's a Republican strategist and former chairwoman of the Nevada Republican Party.